All right, this is Cali Cat Tap Talks, and today we've got Colton and Nick with us. First, I want to tell you guys thank you so much for being on the show, and it is a pleasure to have you guys. Um, Thank you for your services as well, and we're doing this show on Memorial Day. So the name of this show today is Hard Work in a Can, the DRC Energy Blueprint, and it's veteran owned. So, Colton, why don't
Yes,
you go
ma'am.
ahead and tell a little about yourself?
Well, blue collar worker right now, but as you said, well, me and Nick both, we served 4 years. I was Navy, he was Army. Um, yeah, but DRC, I started making videos a long time ago, mainly friends just going out, concerts and stuff, and then turned into like little reels, and then I work a log truck right now. So I
Mm-hmm.
started posting like highlight reels of log trucks and stuff, and that caught on. And then the whole idea behind like DRC Energy, I was in the gas station, and of course, all of us we drink uh, energy drinks. I was
Mm-hmm.
getting the like 2 for $5 deal, and there's like three other guys behind me doing the same thing, but they're like Monster or Red Bull or something. They all cater to like extreme sports kind of thing or like weightlifting, which we
Mm-hmm.
all love. But I guarantee you, like half the consumers of energy drinks are the blue collar people. So I wanted to make a drink that like brings pride back into blue collar work and the
Mm-hmm.
trades because it's not really a whole lot of, how do I put it, like a light shined on us kind of thing. But like motocross and all that, they have the light shined on them. So I just want to bring pride back into the trades.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. And what about you, Nick?
Yeah, yeah. Me and Colton grew up together. Known each other, been best buds for a long time, and yeah, like you said, served in the army, and I'm a firefighter paramedic now, and yeah,
I feel like pretty blue collar.
pretty blue collar in its own way, yeah, and yeah, I mean, he had this idea, and kind of the same thing where I work. There's a lot of like road construction and building construction going on, so going into the gas station, seeing a lot of these guys and gals in their high vis clothing buying energy drinks, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of noticed that a lot more and more, and even in the fire department, noticing a lot more people kind of getting away from coffee and into the energy
Yeah.
drink. I was like, man, okay, and then the story behind it, representing the men and women who help keep this country, rolling, keeping the lights on, keeping the water running. Um, in those jobs that kind of can go underappreciated, I feel like, that are very important, was just really interesting and inspiring to me. I was like, man, I really think you have something here. I think these are good stories to tell, and I think everyone deserves to have their story told, and I think this is a good demographic, if you will, to tell the story. So I hopped on and was like, yeah, I think this is a really good story. And
Want to add on to that? So we also have like blue collar roots,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like all of us. So there's besides Nick, we have Robbie Elliott. He works in a mill here locally. Uh, my mom, Rachel, she's a nurse now, but she worked at the mill before. My brother Brendan, he's a log truck driver with us, and
Mm-hmm.
then like our significant others that have all blue collar backgrounds. We all grew up in like a small community,
mm,
and there's not a lot of like stories told on our part, kind of thing.
yeah,
So
You
like
guys got
we all
stories.
have that background.
yeah,
Yeah, you guys got stories. You both were in the military.
yeah. So
So,
So, you know,
yeah. My question would be, both of you guys are veterans. You know, someone who lived in the grind, right? What experience from your service and your work life laid the foundation to DRC? I know you just gave me like the big
the big
picture
picture.
from logging. You know, you work in a mill town and you going in, but what actually laid this energy foundation?
Honestly, just the grit, the hard work, the getting no sleep, and still waking up and still going after it, which the military taught probably me and Nick the most was, you know, you got to keep working even if you're tired.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just the pride that there is in the hard work, and being dedicated to something, and then obviously the team aspect of it, and just being able to do this with a team of my friends, and that. the camaraderie aspect, and yeah, just all that.
Okay. Oh, so you said DRC was built on values, hard work, um, staying humble, taking care of people. You guys are active, obviously, in your community. Um, so the question is, how does the principles show up in the way you do your business?
Going to community events and stuff. Like we have a scholarship foundation here in Adna that I'd like to start contributing to. I mean, we already do by helping out, but like money wise or like auction wise, and just
Hmm.
bringing awareness to that, and it helps where. I also like to maybe one day make a scholarship for the trade schools so we can send kids to trades and stuff. I feel like that'd be a good way because a lot of it's towards like the big universities and stuff, but there's a lot of little trade schools out there that you can send kids to that would like to go like run equipment and not safely run it and stuff and learn how to do it. And then
I believe in trade schools.
Yep.
I think kids should have an option. If they don't want to go to a university, go to a trade school because that's where they might find something that they love. You don't need to go to a university and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when you can go to a
mhm.
trade school and get the hands-on and get the experience. So I truly believe that.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these schools they push college, which is great. I mean, college is definitely necessary, but there's also the trade route that doesn't really get like the highlight. Like I want to, or we want to like spotlight. Like there is different options for these kids and or an adult, even if you want to switch careers.
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of how we want to give back to the community. Obviously, helping out and stuff, and going to these events and just raising awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not just that, but to teach people to be proud of it. Like it's honorable. Like to do those type of jobs. We
Hmm.
need those type of jobs to keep the world running, to keep the country running. Um, to bring awareness to it, to have pride in it and teach people to be proud of it, and yeah,
Honestly, yeah, pride because there's not a lot of pride nowadays, and sometimes they're even looked down upon. Like, oh, you're just a laborer, which labor is a tough job, and
yeah,
no one wants to do it. But
yeah,
Labor's a tough, and like you guys said, it keeps the world running. Blue collar men and women are keeping this world running, and um, I think you guys should get paid more. And that's just my belief. So Colton, you went to Washington State for 2 years, and then decided to take the trade route. Wasn't for you, and it
yeah,
sounds like the trade route was good for you.
like I said, we all grew up around the trades. My whole family's been in, like logging or the mill industry,
Hmm.
and I tried to not go that route, and it doing it anyways. But I do love it. It's a pretty great experience. But yeah, no military. I went to school down in Mississippi. While I was in, they had a program where you can go to school while serving, and then I transferred to Washington State for a semester, and then I tried to go play rugby at Central Washington University, so I transferred there, and then I got hurt. Uh, Completely different from sports. So I went home and then needed to pay off some medical bills and started working on the railroad. And then from there, finally went back into logging. Well, driving truck. I didn't actually do the logging because
yeah.
logging is a tough job.
You've done a lot of those trade jobs now that I think about it, man. Just driving the
I've done land surveying,
yeah,
construction, railroad, logging. Yeah,
you've done it all, dude.
just trying to make up my mind.
Yep, yeah,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Even
yeah.
trade school.
And what about you, Nick? What route did you take to get where you're at?
Honestly, I was a city kid. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, until I was 11, 12 years old. And my folks bought a piece of property out in the middle of nowhere. And we moved out there. And I was just like, man, this is not my thing. I miss living in the city. And, then I met these guys and started doing the country kid stuff, the blue collar stuff, bucking hay bales
And say a lot of hay bales.
and I really, grew to love it more and respect it more. Started listening to country music, went down that route. So yeah, that's kind of how I got here and just becoming friends with these guys, and went through and yeah, joined the military and went on to paramedic school and the fire department, and a lot of trade workers in the fire department. A lot of guys that I work with used to work in the trades before they became a firefighter, whether it was masonry, plumbing, electricians. framers. So just being around that and yeah, and obviously knowing these guys, all my friends that I grew up with are blue collar, and again, the logging trucks and mills, and so yeah, just that's kind of how I got here, and
Okay. So there are energy drinks out there, right? For gamers, but you made this one for blue collar workers who keep the world moving. Why was it so important to serve them specifically? Because I think you can be more than just for the blue collar workers, just for everybody.
Yeah.
So, like for me, I'm a Jaeger. I'll drop it in a Red Bull real
There you
quick
go.
and drink it. So I don't know, what about for you guys? I mean,
Honestly, for me, it's more like just getting the stories told of the blue collar workers. And a lot of these guys don't eat healthy either, or drink healthy. So if they hear or they see a product that's made for blue collar, I want to be able to provide them a healthier option than like a sugared down energy drink or something.
hmm
Uh, and then there's also we put some ingredients in there that like help with focus. There's alpha GPC, and then what else? And then we also went with green tea caffeine, so it's not as extreme as like normal caffeine. And we also put L-theanine to help smooth it out throughout the day. So mainly our drinks for like hydration because they're working hard. So we got electrolytes in there too. Uh, yeah, mainly to put focus on their focus, hydration, and then their energy too, because we would do work long, hard hours, and so to be able to provide a healthier option from blue collar workers, maybe they'll start drinking a healthier option than the sugary drinks kind of thing.
okay, okay. And then from military life to entrepreneurship, how did you stay grounded while building a brand in such a crowded industry? I mean, you've got all types of different types of energy drinks, and you guys come up with DRC.
Well, the funny part about that is, so we don't have a drink out yet. We're still in the manufacturing phase, but we have tried it, and it is going to be out this summer. But everything from to this point, I've done in the seat of my log truck.
Wow.
So yeah, so like, well, and then we've had meetings and stuff now, and like all ideas. But yeah, everything I've done so far to build this brand has been from my iPhone. So whenever little downtime I've had, I've been on my iPhone, wheeling and dealing. So it's definitely been a learning experience from the entrepreneur side.
Uh, well, best platform ever. It's a learning experience. It's this one right here.
Yeah, literally. And social media has been a huge help. Luckily, I've kind of figured social media out and just making videos that people enjoy to see and
Yeah.
see our. Because actually, so we have our energy drinks social media, and then I have it's called Dirt Road Cowboys page where I just kind of post blue collar construction, mainly logging, because that's all my original content,
Oh
and it
yeah.
just kind of blew up, and everything's just kind of grown naturally to up to this point. So it actually hasn't been that hard.
hmm
It's just kind of keeps falling in line, and we're just like, okay, what do we do now?
Putting everything all together. So
Yep.
Nick, you saw his vision. You're a long-term friend of his, and go through your vision of what you've seen and why you trust in Colton with this product out here.
yeah. So I mean, I would consider myself like an energy drink connoisseur. I've drank a lot of them,
So we
and
all.
yeah, I do. I try all different brands, and just the vision. It was just very different. I knew right away, like, man, this is different. Like, this is a different target audience. This is an audience that's going to consume it. The story lines up. You could back the story up with your own life. Um, we all can,
hmm
and yeah, I just knew, and just his enthusiasm. Colton's a dreamer. That's one of the things I love about him. He's always been that way. He's a dreamer, and I could just tell talking to him about this that I was like, oh man, like he really believes in this. Like I could tell that he's not gonna give up on this. Like this is his baby. Like this is, yeah, I could just tell. So that's why I was like, yeah, let's do it. I could tell by the way you're talking about it, and your ambition that you believe in this. I believe in this. Like, let's do it. You know.
Yeah,
So
which means a lot, to be honest. Yeah.
you guys got
The what?
what flavors? Is it just one flavor for right now? Do you
Yeah.
have
Well,
different flavors?
since we still have like our normal jobs, this is like a experiment kind of thing, which is
Mhm.
keeps growing bigger than I think once we get a product, it's going to explode. But so we went with one flavor, just like a trial run to see if it'll even take off. And
Mhm.
we're going with it's called Ironberry, but it's a mixed berry. We're trying to do the names like to relate to blue collar, like iron workers or something. So we named it Ironberry. And then I think if this flavor takes off, we're going to go probably 2 or 3 more flavors immediately after. We don't
Wow.
know which ones yet. I think we might do a fan vote, see what everyone's thinking, and uh, see what flavors they want. Really.
Yeah. Maybe you guys should do one just for the veterans. You know, do
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
special once a year, and that's a good marketing technique. Is do that once a year. Everybody wants to get it. It has that special, meaning behind it, right?
Yeah.
I'm a beer head, so I go up to Russian River. I stand in line for 18 hours. I get a beer, and it's a really good one. And they only do it once a year, and they have a good marketing technique behind it. So
Mhm.
maybe that'd be a great idea for you guys.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, we're open to everything. Like this is all learning, so
Yeah.
marketing and just getting our name out there, and so we're open to any ideas or see which
So,
ones work the best.
so what would you pair that with? With a beer? I know you guys drink beers.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, it's
yeah.
funny you say pairing. We Nick didn't unfortunately get a test out the drink, but
Yeah.
a lot of the other of us others did for obviously tasting. So we decided to pull the vodka out and mix it with a little vodka
Mhm.
because one of the owners is my fiance Kate.
Mhm.
She manages a bar in town, so we're targeting the bar community too, who are blue collar. Well, let's
Yeah.
put a little vodka in it, and actually it tasted pretty good.
Wow. It way it sounds, it's gonna take off. It should take off. You guys got a website too, right? To support you guys.
Yeah, it's under Dirt Road Cowboys. Just spell it out instead of DRC because that domain was already taken.
Mhm.
But I mean DRC, Dirt Road Cowboys. That is the main brand right there. So just dirtroadcowboys.com.
Okay. So everybody out there, dirtroadcowboys.com. And
And then,
need to support them. We need to go out and support our veterans. This is a veteran-owned business. It's just getting started, and we need to support them. My next question is, um, what do you wish more people understood about men and women behind the scenes, the ones building roads, fixing engines, stocking shelves, and how DRC is made with them in the mind?
honestly, like we keep going back, just the stories behind them all, like the pride they take in their work. Like if you go to some of these like buildings and like the craftsmanship and the finishes, like it's pretty amazing stuff. It's artwork, really.
Hmm.
So we just want to highlight like we want people to understand like their hard work that they put in, the hours, because and a lot of it goes unnoticed because it's not actual artwork that is on display, which it is, but people aren't looking at it that way. And so, or like all the people, like let's say linemen who, after every natural disaster, they're ready to go and out there trying to help people out, so to tell their stories or just really put a highlight on the community and let others know like the kind of work that they put in the hours
Hmm.
and maybe get them noticed.
So tell one of your quick stories. What sticks most in your mind when you're out there working outside of your company that you're building from the ground, right? So tell us one of your unique stories, exciting stories. It can be quick, it can be easy.
Like it happened to me.
Yeah, tell us your story.
Let's
You
see.
had you the one that came up and thought of DRC, and you wanted to, and
Well, I'm not
maybe
really good about talking about myself. Maybe Nick can tell a story.
tell us a story.
Tell a story about like what specifically, like being around like trades or?
Yeah, being around trade or just one of your typical days out there. And this is this is why I have to go and grab me a DRC because I have to get through this.
Yeah,
Just run us through one of your typical days.
I think again, being a fireman, I'm around the PUD guys and gals a lot because obviously if we're going to go into a fire, we don't want to get electrocuted, so we depend on those guys and gals to de-energize buildings, stuff like that. Obviously a lot of road construction, seeing the guys and gals out there day and night building bridges. I mean, even painting the lines on the roads, like those little jobs that we kind of take for granted. But what if there weren't lines in the roads? Like just so I think just yeah, I mean, just being around that again, telling everyone's story. We're all one big machine, and everyone has their own job that has to keep it moving smoothly. So I think about that. Um, yeah, but as like directly impacted day to day, I think of again those the PUD workers that we have to call out in the middle of the night when there's power lines down in the middle of the road, um, and just stuff like that. A lot of hardworking men and women that I feel kind of go unnoticed, and yeah, everyone deserves to have their story told.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess from like the logging side too, just the truck drivers alone, some of the roads we have to go down carrying about 105,000 pounds down a hill gets pretty sketchy. But to us, it's just a normal day. Or like logging in general, they're called choker setters, but they're up and down the mountain all day.
Hmm.
Can't imagine the amount of calories they're burning. But like Nick said, without them, we wouldn't have a job. Without us, they wouldn't have a job. And it's just untold stories and just the hard work that they put in. They keep coming back, keep coming back.
Yeah, and it's 24/7, 365. It doesn't stop, and these men and women don't stop. So heck, if they
Like,
could get a drink to keep them going, reach for a
yeah,
DRC.
like I said, I mean, there is a lot of energy drinks out there, and ours is a healthier option. And but none of these other energy drinks, like the main thing is just putting the spotlight on the blue collar worker. Like they go out and they get the Ghost or the Red Bull, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to lift weights. They're not going to go jump out of an airplane. They're going to go to work and
They're going to work.
keep
Yeah,
the world running.
they're running machines. They're yeah.
So looking ahead, what's your vision for DRC Energy, and how can our listeners help share the mission with their own communities that you guys are? This is coming out to them soon. As soon as you guys get this up and running, right? And it
Yes,
sounds to
ma'am.
be
Should be.
a very healthy product.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think the long term vision is to take this nationally, even like into Canada, because we have a lot of followers on our social media from Canada, or even globally, because there's, I mean, brokers everywhere. It all, at the end of the day, it's all intertwined. Like we get a lot of stuff from other countries as they get a lot of stuff from us, and we ship it overseas. But the long term goal is just to shine a light on everybody, really, tell their stories, and a product they can back because it came from blue collar, someone that knows the grind that they're putting in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you,
and
Nick?
and to give back. I want to give back, like you said. I want to set up a scholarship one day, maybe even multiple, for to send kids to like trade schools and let them know there is other options than uh, normal college, which isn't a bad choice either. But there is other options, and it's not a bad option. Like I said, I think the trades kind of got looked down for a little bit. Like, oh, you're just a construction worker, when really it's very important.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. And I say go for get that scholarship out there. It'll probably start small, right? And then as your business grow and you put more money in there for the scholarship. And sometimes people they're looking at a big, large funding of scholarship. You don't really need that. Instead of putting
Mm-hmm.
like thousands of dollars and give it to one, break that thousands of dollars into a couple $100 and give it to several, and then
Mm-hmm.
put your name behind it and say, okay, here, this is how you use it.
Well,
I
that
think
just that.
that's great, awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not at the scholarship point yet, but that is definitely one of the long term goals we want to get to. Be able to give back.
Yeah, I think that's great. And what about you, Nick?
I mean, yeah, kind of, everything you said. Um, just telling everyone's story, letting folks out there know, hey, we see you. We're proud of you. We respect you. We want this to represent you, and get you through a hard shift here and there if you need it. And yeah, to give back, to bring awareness and bring pride to those jobs, and yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, so what do you what time frame you guys looking at to get your product out there? 'Cause we're gonna have to
We're
do like a second podcast so we can let people know your product is out there and they need to go get it, try it, grab it, and give you guys some feedback on it, right?
Yeah, we want all the feedback. We're always, like I said, this has all been a learning moment,
Hmm.
and we're still learning. We're gonna keep learning probably till either we sell this thing or we go bankrupt. Who knows?
You,
But
we don't we don't want you to go bankrupt.
I know I had to
We
throw it in there.
want you
So
to we want
We're
it
gonna
to
go
be
down
around
swing,
for a
gonna go down
while.
swinging regardless, you know.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you got a lot of veteran people out there that are willing to help. You know, sounds like you
Yeah,
got an amazing product out there.
but we're looking like end of July, August. We're right now we're in the collecting like the cans and the ingredients, send it to our manufacturer, and then we'll get an actual manufacturing date. But right now it's looking like end of July or August. We'll have the product out there.
All right, and so you're just gonna push it out into your community first, or are we gonna be able to get this drink online?
Yeah, we're gonna do mainly online sales, and then locally we'll do a lot of stuff. So if you're in Washington, you're in luck. You can get it probably at your local store. But a lot of it's going to be online sales to start until we keep growing and can get into those big distributors, and they can see their product and the vision that it is selling, and people want it, and they want their voices heard.
That's true. So we just tapped into something here. Distributor. Make sure you understand the distributor. There's a lot of different types of contracts with
Oh,
distributors. I'm learning this as I go through my process with my new podcast. So make sure you read your contract with distributors. A lot of breweries out there start, they have the best tasting beers ever. People come and sit, and then when it comes down to it, their doors end up closing because they didn't read their contract. You know,
oh,
to make sure that, and that's a learning thing, right? So
yeah, big time.
make sure you guys read the contracts and make sure um, get the message out there because it sounds like DRC Energy is going to be the new thing.
yeah. And Bubs, the merch too. Sorry to cut in, but we're
Oh
redoing
yeah,
merch and stuff. We're gonna have sweatshirts, hoodies, hats, American made. We're gonna be doing that too. So
yeah, we're really pushing the American made, well, because we are American and we serve. So American made is going to be our big push too, and to support American. We want to
Yeah,
support American products, and like the
small
drinks being
businesses.
made in America. The ingredients are sourced from America.
everything is made in America, and that's great. And that's still with which website is that one? So everybody knows to go
It's all gonna
to.
be that one website, the Dirt Road Cowboys, and I have it on our social media too, on our bio.
Hmm. Hmm.
The links in there too, so you can either follow or go to DRC Energy on Instagram or Dirt Road Cowboys on Instagram, and it'll be there.
Okay.
And
All
all the
right.
products should be on there, merchandise and all.
Merchandise and all. Okay. Can I get like one little military story out of y'all? One little military. Come on. It's Memorial Day. Come on, guys.
Man,
Something.
I was fortunate. I didn't get deployed. Nick got deployed,
Hmm.
but I was just stationed. I was an MP or a Master at Arms, they call it in the Navy. So I got stationed with all the CBs down in Mississippi. I guess one story since I was an MP, it was a Marine detachment. They were at the bar on base, and I got an argument with one of them because he punched the door and it cracked.
Hmm.
And since there's damage, we had to write it up so they can fix it. No harm, no foul. But he tried to tell me that he just stuck his arm out and it shattered. It was just. I was like, "There's no way the glass shattered. You punched it because you and your friend
Yeah,
are fighting."
the Marine
That's
could have
probably the
could,
most PG story I got, anyways.
you know. Um, yeah, I mean, I was a medic. I mean, all my stories involve just like good ass chewings and getting yelled at and stuff. And I mean, nothing. Those were always fun.
Yeah, I remember in boot camp they have dessert set out, and of course some people ate the dessert, and then he goes, "Don't worry, I'll get those calories back,"
Yeah,
and he sure did.
Yeah, I don't know. Just watching people get smoked and have to low crawl around with their faces in the mud and snow. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Nothing specific. Just yeah, just fun times.
Just fun time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fun, huh,
fun.
Nick?
And
You both
help
are
make me
trying
into
to
the man I
get
am today.
me. So, as we get ready to end this, what was you guys' favorite beer?
Ooh.
Favorite beer, yeah.
There's a brewery up here called Elysian. I don't know how widespread they are now, but I've been a big fan of their Space Dust. It's an IPA.
Yes,
Space Dust is good.
Space
Yeah,
Dust is good. Yes, and that is. I've never been to that brewery, but I plan on going to that one.
That's a good one. Yeah, they got some good beers.
yeah. Trying to think. I like the light beers. I'm not too hardcore. I do like a Space Dust. If I'm gonna go with an IPA, those will get you though. They're like 9%.
Mhm.
Um, I lived in Texas for a while, so I like Shiner. Some Shiner Bock is good, or Lone
Mhm.
Star. Um, it's not like a Rainier. I know that's not like a hardcore beer, but I like a good Rainier in a bottle. But yeah, yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite?
My favorite's the younger. So, you can only get it once a year. That's it.
Really,
I was gonna say I don't even think I've heard of that.
It only comes out once a year, and then after that, it's a wrap. But they do have other good beers. They got Pliny the Elder. They got the Blind Pig. So, and then the next brewery would be Hen House, and they've got all kinds of, you know, they represent the chicken.
Oh, there you
nice.
go.
uh, you go in there, you see this big chicken. So,
Yeah.
kind of crazy. All right, guys. Is there anything that you would like to say to the audience, um, to get them to go to your website, right? To get them to maybe invest into you guys, and invest into your mission. Outside of, you have the military, veterans, blue collar workers, and that's just a small, very small niche there. I mean, if it's clean, crisp energy drink, I think you guys need to tap into, some of these stores by the colleges too, or drop them into the college stores, you know,
Okay.
because they
Yeah,
would
honestly,
love to have them. They would love to have them. I know when I worked for UPS, we took all the energy drinks out because they weren't good for us. But it sounds like you guys got a good one going and it's clean. Yeah,
Mm,
good start, guys. It's a great
yeah,
start.
no, support our story. Like I said, we're blue collar ourselves. Like we've lived the grind, and we're trying to build something for the people that we work with right now. Something a little healthier, something to tell their story, put pride back in the trades, because
mm.
it just seems like there's not a lot of pride anymore in being a construction worker and all that.
Hmm.
So if you want to help this mission out, this vision, you can follow us on the Instagram or TikTok, DRC Energy or Dirt Road Cowboys. Dirt Road's probably the more vulgar site. DRC is more professional. But yeah, or just look at our website, the dirtroadcowboys.com. That's where you'll find the merch right now. And then coming soon will be the drink, either July or August. Yeah, support our journey, help us out. Even if it's just advice, we'll take anything.
For
Yeah.
sure.
All right. I'll take the time to again thank you guys for your service. Really appreciate you guys. And
Yeah, thanks for having
thank
us
you
on.
for hopping on here for Memorial Day. It's the best time to have it. So thank you, and you guys have a nice one. Bye bye.